Imagine waking up each morning unsure of your next meal. No savings, no safety net, just a dream and a determination that refuses to be extinguished. This is not a fictional tale. He wasn't born into wealth, he didn't have connections. He didn't attend prestigious schools. What he did have was vision, resilience, and the will to endure what others would not. This is not a fictional tale. This is the true story of a man who started with absolutely nothing and became a billionaire. His name is familiar to many now, but at the start, no one knew who he was. This is the full story of how he went from poverty to prosperity, from sleeping on the floor to owning empires. Let's rewind to where it all began. He was born in a small town. His family struggled to make ends meet, but he stood there for almost an hour, imagining what that space could become. That tiny, dusty shop became his first business. He convinced the landlord to give him a chance with almost no money up front. He borrowed a few $100s from a friend and started a second-hand electronics store. He negotiated to buy their leftover stock at a huge discount. It was a risk. Every dollar he had went into that deal, but it paid off. That inventory gave him enough runway to survive and expand. Used phones, radios, chargers. He cleaned them up, tested them, and sold them at razor-thin margins. Every sale felt like a victory. From a young age, he watched his parents juggle multiple jobs, months of barely breaking even. But he showed up every single day. He greeted every customer. He listened. He learned. Slowly, word began to spread. He built trust, one person at a time. Life was a constant balancing act of survival. At times, the power would be cut off. There were nights with no dinner on the table. But amid the hardship, a fire was growing inside him. He started selling small items just to help contribute to the household. Newspapers, candies, whatever he could find. In high school, he was already thinking like an entrepreneur. While others planned for prom or thought about college parties, he was experimenting with buying and reselling goods. He studied people, observed their habits, learned what made them tick. He realized early that understanding people was just as valuable as any formal education. The lectures didn't connect with him. The business theories were outdated. He needed real-world action. With no degree, no savings, and no plan B, he took odd jobs just to keep going. He worked as a dishwasher. He stocked shelves. He delivered flyers. Humbling jobs, but it taught him something. But school wasn't easy. He wasn't a strata student. Teachers often misunderstood his lack of focus as laziness. What they didn't know was that his mind was already racing ahead, imagining opportunities and dreaming of freedom from the financial prison he'd grown up in. He scraped his way into a local college, but dropped out after just a year. One night while walking home from a late shift, he saw a closed storefront with a for lease sign. Most people would pass by, but it wasn't easy. There were days with 0 customers, nights filled with doubt. Then came a major turning point. A local supplier was shutting down. Most saw it as bad news. He saw opportunity. With the profits, he opened a second location, then a third. He started building a small team. He trained them himself, taught them how to talk to customers, how to solve problems, how to think beyond just selling. His stores didn't just sell electronics, they offered solutions, repairs, consultations, personalized service. That was his edge. He realized early that business was not just about products, it was about people. But he didn't stop there. He began learning about the online world. He diversified into other areas, accessories, gadgets, even his own line of tech products. What started in the dusty old shop had now become a multi-million-dollar operation. Orders poured in from across continents. Within a few years, his company was valued in the hundreds of millions, and eventually, over $1 billion. But he knew his customers. He knew their pain points, and he knew how to create value where others only saw obstacles. Late at night, he taught himself website development and digital marketing. He launched an e-commerce site. Orders started trickling in from outside his city, then from outside the country. He reinvested every dollar back into the business, and your willingness to endure. 10 years in, his brand had become a household name in his region. But a legacy, then came the real leap. He partnered with a major manufacturer to develop affordable smartphones for emerging markets. It was bold. Many said he was too small to compete. The freedom to create, to help, to build. And now, he uses that freedom not just for himself, but for others. But through relentless perseverance, smart risks, and a deep understanding of people and problems, that partnership catapulted his company into a new league. He became a beacon for others walking the same path he once did. He became a billionaire, not overnight, not through luck. What's remarkable is not just the numbers, it's what he did after achieving wealth. He didn't vanish into luxury. He built schools in underserved areas, created programs to help young entrepreneurs, mentored startups. He often says that money was never the goal, freedom was. His story reminds us that it doesn't matter where you start. What matters is your mindset, your hunger to learn. Every late night, every setback, every rejection taught him something, and he used those lessons to build not just a business. So the next time you feel stuck, overlooked, or like success is only for others, remember this story. He had nothing, and he became a billionaire. And if he can do it, who says you can't?